I had planned to pass on this video and not get into this, but I keep getting tagged in it, so here we go.
Biggest critique of Sean, Jay-Z, as I affectionately like to call him, capitalistic Hove, was how could you not be present, especially at Yankee Stadium?
Capitalistic Hove. I'm not mad at that description. I get it. He is definitely about that bread, but he's never told us anything other than that.
How could you not be there to pay homage?
I may be alone in this, but not once have I thought about the fact that Jay-Z wasn't at any of these 50th anniversary events, because so many other people are at these things. Like, Jay-Z hasn't even crossed my mind. Of all the things to think about with so many greats out here in these streets, you're talking about who wasn't out there. Who's worried about who wasn't there? Worried about who was there, right?
Black culture helped propel you from this faux Scarface individual that you talked about that you were in the streets of Brooklyn.
I ain't even trying to act like I was out in them streets like that. But if you're on 95 South and you don't know that Jay-Z was touching down in your city, then you don't know Jay-Z was touching down in your city.
How could you not be there to pay homage to the craft, to the culture that built you up? A perfect way to build goodwill within a community.
Not that anybody cares, but I am on record as critiquing Hove in some moves that he's made, particularly the NFL thing, and kind of dismissing Colin Kaepernick from that. But to think that Hove needs some type of credit in the black or hip hop community, that seems far-fetched. There are some situations where no matter what you do, it's never going to be enough for some people. And then if you do it loudly and publicly, you're just trying to show off. Pick a struggle.
Now, I'm not going to make it seem like I know why he didn't show up, like he just poo-pooed it. But we recognize that he's strategic, if that's what we want to call it.
We recognize that he's strategic, if that's what you want to call it.
In hip-hop lore, Nas will forever be the people's champ, solidified by Jay-Z's absence from 50th anniversary festivities. The former consistently shows the culture he's one of, while the latter moves as if he's above.
If Nas is the people's champ, I respect it. That man has dropped 5 albums in the last few years. So obviously he's going to be in these streets performing more regularly. He was just on tour.
A duo whose legacies were entwined like Malcolm and Martin, where no matter the path followed, liberation was the goal, now looks more like Malcolm, Martin, and Clarence Thomas.
Did this man say Clarence Thomas? Wow. You super wild. Super wildin'. Like, so disrespectful.
As I sat and thought about what the biggest name in hip hop not being present to honor the forefathers that paved the way, who didn't get the money, who didn't get the opportunity, who's still living in the same crib that they was able to get back in the 80s, who's not flourishing monetarily as he is. It was an opportunity for him to say thank you on a large scale. Just to say thank you to the ancestors.
You mean the same person that said, I'm overcharging for what they did to the Cold Crush? That's the guy you're talking about? Because I'm pretty sure nobody was having that conversation about pioneers prior to That bar.
The ancestors who inspired Kool Herc and Cindy to have that party in the basement. But unfortunately, it was missed.
Now, obviously, this is a different scale of event, but understand what I'm trying to conflate. In these TikTok streets, when it comes to hip hop, there are a couple people who look to me to always do something hip hop related. And it was the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Multiple people. Source. What you doing for the anniversary? You doing something? You doing a live? You doing something? You know what I was doing? Moving my youngest daughter back to college. Friday through Sunday. I tried to jump on intermittently when I could, but guess what? It's family first, right? Could that man have been with his family? His wife is on tour with the daughter. You know that. We all know that. Could he have been there? They have other children. Could he have been with them? It's just weird. It's weird, bro. Like, maybe it's just clickbait. Maybe I'm overdoing this. It's possible. But respect.